Federal government promises fuel supply by weekend amid price hike chaos. 3 children killed, 2 injured in Kano building collapse. Woman involved in sex tape scandal with former senator speaks to Trust TV. And on the international scene, Burkina Faso launches new passport without ECOWAS logo. Good evening. Welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Sumaya Abubakar. And now the details. The federal government has assured that the fuel crisis currently rocking the nation will soon be resolved as NNPC has sufficient fuel supplies to meet the national demand. Addressing newsmen after a meeting between the Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and authorities of the nation's petroleum sector, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokbobiri, urged Nigerians to remain calm, adding that increased availability of petroleum products will foster competition and drive down prices. Lokbobiri further stressed that government was not responsible for the recent hikes in fuel costs. The emergency meeting, which took place at the Vice President's office in the State House, Abuja, had the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Lokbobiri, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, and the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, in attendance. The meeting was part of government's move to douse the tension over the recent hike in petroleum pump price and the scarcity of the products across the country.
Products are available in the country, and we believe that between now and the weekend, there will be availability of products across the length and breadth of the country. The price could be high in some other areas, much more. Higher in some other locations, in some locations much more than, other areas. But we believe that by the time, there is availability of product across the country, the price itself will stabilize. There is enough product in the country to be able, to meet the demands of Nigerians, so there should be no panic buying.
The aftermath of the recent fuel price increment has led to a noticeable reduction in vehicular movement in Kano State. The situation has left commuters struggling to find public transport, with many tricycle riders choosing to quit their services altogether. Here's more on the developing story.
This is usually one of Kano's busiest junctions during rush hour, the time when most people are either moving to or returning home from work. 2 days after the fuel price hike, the impact is evident with significantly fewer vehicles on the road and even at filling stations. For commuters, the situation is becoming unbearable, while tricycle riders say it has become almost impossible to operate. My fuel got finished as I was riding my bike. I don't even have money to buy fuel, so I am pushing it to Sabuwar Gandu all the way from Jifatu on Zaria Road. Fuel, which was once sold for 220 naira, is now sold for as high as 1,300 naira.
For example, like you saw me, I was trekking from somewhere else. I was trekking on the road. Even me, I personally have my own bag and I left it at the home because of the fuel is too cost. Yeah, because the situation is very, very hard for everybody.
There is no profit for we tricycle riders. I bought fuel up to 7,000 naira, and by this afternoon I made only 3,000 naira before encountering brake failure. Now the money I made will neither be enough for me to take to my family or to even fix my brake. Job has changed a lot. In the past, you can buy fuel and use it for long, but right now we struggle to break even. So we have to even consider stopping the business. Many residents have linked the fuel price increase to commencement of production by the Dangote refinery. They wonder why this has not reduced the current fuel scarcity and the overall distribution challenges in Nigeria.
On hearing that Dangote will start flood the market by September, all inside of us to hear that okay, we have decrease. Then what we see is decrease. And NNPC is selling at a higher price what the independent marketer has been selling before.
Sanya za a yi abin nan a ƙasarmu kuma ina nema ya gagare mu
We don't understand why what we expect to help us in our country should be taken to other countries. The way I see it, such shouldn't even be happening. For others, the major concern is the lack of clear communication from the authorities.
That why can't they come and tell us the truth? Tell us the truth, then we understand. Nigeria are not so difficult like that. We'll say, okay, yeah, it's a difficult time for everybody. But they'll say this today, tomorrow that. We are not convinced. Okay, where is the refinery? Now that they say they will start production by April this year. Both of them, the refinery, the Kaduna, the Warri of 18. Now they say September. And we are already in September.
Honestly, I'm not happy with it. What we are begging government is to look at the masses and slash down the prices at least to a reasonable price, so that people can at least enjoy the government.
They should try and look into the people, because the hardship is too much. They should look onto the people. The hardship is too much. The life is hard, especially the average people, that are the low living people. Yeah, government have to do something. People are suffering very well.
In the coming days, the situation is expected to worsen, especially with the reopening of schools scheduled for next week. The number of commuters during the early hours of the day is likely to increase, putting more strain on the already limited transport options.
Less than 24 hours after the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited adjusted its fuel price from 598 naira to above 800 naira per litre, local findings show that Nigerians are frustrated by the ripple effect of government's decision. The report.
The traces of frustration as a result of fuel scarcity amid food prices hike is apparent in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital. The fuel scarcity has greatly reduced vehicular movements as many fueling stations have shut down operations. Motorists lament high prices on fuel amid uncontrollable queues at some fueling stations within the state.
It is very, very unrealistic. It is very, very annoying. From 180 to 580, then to 890 naira. This total filling station is 890 naira. Even with some, you can imagine. I cannot plead to federal government, but they should do the needful. This is high time for the federal government to do the needful. I will talk to Commander-in-Chief to please search around and get the sabotage that is sabotaging his efforts.
It's affecting me as a farmer. The two products I need petrol, and interestingly enough, I have to put the cost. There will be overhead cost on those who are processing, the workers. So definitely it will skyrocket on the food supply.
Some residents of Ibadan said the upcoming stream of Dangote refinery may not make much of a difference because of the threats by external forces.
Saying it over and over, the first subsidy is only things that this government is giving to the general populace. Removing it is throwing the public into problem. There is nothing that anybody or populace is enjoying in this nation than this subsidy that they are giving to us. They are removing it and giving us all this food distribution palliative that they are distributing cannot go round. It is only subsidy that can go round.
As far as I'm concerned, NNPC is a major distributor of our petroleum. I think they are in best position to regulate this price of our petrol. There's supposed to be a fixed price. Even if there will be increments, at least let's also have a fixed price, so that we know that this is the amount we have to pay, not that every day, every now and then, there will be increase in price. It's becoming unbearable.
As fuel scarcity lingers, Nigerians are calling on the government and relevant stakeholders to take the matter as a matter of urgency and take decisions to cushion the effect on the people.
In the same vein, residents of Asaba, the Delta State capital, say the recent increase in the pump price of petrol has worsened the hardship across the state. Speaking while reacting to the latest development, the resident said sectors like transportation have witnessed a significant increase in fares, further putting a strain on scarce resources. The report.
The increase in the pump price of petrol appears to have worsened the hardship in Delta State. Long queues have resurfaced at filling stations in Asaba, while the number of vehicles plying the roads have significantly reduced. At some filling stations, petrol is being dispensed at 970 naira per litre, resulting in low patronage, while a few others are selling for 900 naira per litre. This long queue at the NNPCL mega station in Asaba is due to the fact that it is selling at 885 naira per litre, lower than is obtainable at private stations. The situation has led residents to call on government to reduce the pump price of the essential commodity, as it has heightened the suffering of the ordinary Nigerian.
I'm just coming back from Ugeli now, and think Ugeli houses, they are selling 1,200, and here in NNPC, as of day 4 yesterday, we are buying 591. Getting to yesterday, they changed the fuel pump to 880, 850. It's not really funny.
We at this thing, very close to this place. We bought 10 liters for 10,000. That's 1,000 per liter.
The government put high grant now. All of us mind don't they spoil you, because this country now nobody can enjoy. They do things again.
Please, we are begging on you people. You people should help us. People are suffering, masses are suffering. Cost of food is expensive because of transportation. From you take your goods from here to north, you know how much you spend in buying fuel, diesel, and the rest.
With the scarcity yet to abate, many are appealing to the NNPCL to make the product available, even at the present price, in order to ease the stress of getting the product. Jonathan Anwanya, Trust TV News, Asaba.
The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has strongly condemned the recent increase in the pump price of fuel by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, from 617 naira to about 900 naira per litre. The NBA described the sudden price hike as not only harsh but also unjustified at this time. A statement by the president of the NBA, Afam Osigwe SAN, says the significant and abrupt hike has imposed an unbearable burden on the already outstretched finances of ordinary Nigerians. Osigwe said the development will further aggravate the economic challenges faced by millions across the country. While the NBA acknowledged the necessity of economic reforms and recognizes the government's responsibility to make difficult decisions, he also said the association said this decision must be made with utmost consideration of their impact on the welfare of citizens. The NBA called on the federal government to immediately halt the implementation of this meaningful dialogue of the policy and engage in meaningful dialogue with all relevant stakeholders, including civil society organizations, the labor unions, and economic experts, to explore more sustainable and less punitive alternatives. The Lagos chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, has urged President Bola Tinubu to prioritize the welfare of Nigerians by immediately reversing the price hike of petrol to its previous level. The pump price of petrol was on Tuesday raised to 855 naira and 897 naira depending on the location per litre, from 568 naira by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. The development has since attracted a lot of reactions from groups and individuals, with many calling for an immediate reversal to the old price. Joining the call in a statement signed by its chairman, Dr. Sahid Babajide Kende, on Thursday, the NMA Lagos said the unilateral decision has imposed further unbearable hardship on Nigerians, including their members who are already grappling with severe economic challenges and insecurity. The statement added that many of the members are being forced to leave the country in droves due to the dismal economic situation, adding that the recent development will only exacerbate the already dire circumstances that they face. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has reportedly suspended the sale of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, to independent marketers after it hiked the product's price on Tuesday. This is even as 3 vessels berthed at the Apapa Lagos jetty on Wednesday to discharge imported petrol. The National Vice President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Hamid Fashola, said the NNPC stopped selling fuel to independent marketers on Tuesday when it raised the price of a litre of PMS to 855 naira and above across its retail outlets nationwide. Independent marketers sold the product for as much as 1,200 naira and 1,300 naira per litre in some states following the upward review of prices by the NNPC. Fashola wondered why the national oil firm will suspend the sale of petrol to the marketers without any official communication, even when the marketers had paid for the product over 2 months ago. It was learned that the NNPC usually prioritized major marketers while IPMAN members resorted to private depot owners who sold at higher prices, leading to a wide gap between the prices offered by both categories. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced that it has supplied 30 million barrels of crude oil to the Dangote oil refinery, with plans to provide an additional 17 million barrels soon. The Executive Vice President of NNPCL Downstream, Adedapo Shegun, who disclosed this on Thursday, added that the company will supply 6.3 million barrels in September and an additional 11.3 million barrels in October. He noted that this is part of the federal government's decision to sell crude to local refineries. Shegun noted that the 6.3 million barrels will be delivered in 7 cargoes. He expressed concern that the current pump price does not reflect market realities. Meanwhile, Dangote Group says the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, the NNPC Limited, has not commenced lifting of premium motor spirit, PMS, also known as petrol, from its refinery. In a statement on Thursday by Anthony Chiejina, Chief Branding and Communications Officer of Dangote Group, the company said it is yet to finalize its contract with the NNPC. Dangote Group said the petrol market is strictly regulated, and as such, the company cannot determine, fix, or influence the product price, which falls under the purview of relevant government authorities. The group assured Nigerians of high-quality petroleum products which will be available across the country. On Tuesday, Aliko Dangote, chairman of Dangote Industries Limited, officially announced the commencement of petrol production at his refinery. Away from PMS, a 2-story building has collapsed in the Sabongari area of Kano State, killing 3 children. It was gathered that a 15-year-old girl remains trapped under the rubble, while her parents have been rescued and are currently receiving medical attention. According to local sources, the building housed a family of 6 who were caught in their sleep when the structure caved in. The collapse has been attributed to a presumed landslide triggered by recent heavy rainfall in the region. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, confirmed this on Thursday. The parents of the deceased children, identified as Mr. and Mrs. Aliyu Mine, were rescued alive and are currently hospitalized. Musa Abdullahi, Executive Secretary of the Red Cross, praised the coordinated efforts of the teams involved. Also, the Managing Director of the Kano State Urban Planning Development Authority, Ibrahim Abdullahi, emphasized the broader implications of the disaster. Last week, social media was set ablaze by a viral nude video pushing a former senator from Adamawa State into a storm of controversy. The video has ignited a heated debate with allegations of blackmail and defamation at its core. In this exclusive report, Abdullahi Ahmed sits down with the woman at the center of the scandal, offering an inside look into the unfolding drama that has gripped Adamawa and sparked nationwide attention. Take a look.
For days, social media in Adamawa, particularly Facebook, has been buzzing with one dominant topic: the alleged sex scandal involving Senator Ishaku Abo. The scandal has captivated the public, sparking intense debates over the truth behind the claims and counterclaims from both sides. In an exclusive interview with Trust TV News, the woman at the center of the controversy finally breaks her silence, stepping forward to set the record straight.
He's my boyfriend. He dated me 6 years back before I get married to my husband. When we are dating, there's 2 videos with him. The other one I did with my hand that he's showing. He's visible in the video. The other one he did with his hand that I was visible in the video. He did not release that one because he's fully aware that if he releases that one, he's going to implicate himself. He released this particular one that is going around the world. I don't know how it got off his phone, but he's the only person that have access to that video. I don't even know he still have it until now.
Senator Ishaku Abo has strongly denied any involvement in the leaked video scandal. But the woman has come forward with a different story. She accuses the senator of orchestrating the entire fiasco, claiming it was a deliberate attempt to tarnish her reputation and undermine her marriage.
After our fight with the patients, Charles Kwache before, now Mrs. Cliff Abo, he called us and settled the grudges between us, that we should put hands together and go and do work for him, and go and campaign for him in the village. So he was contesting for senator, which we did same thing. We go home, we go to the village, street by street, word by word to do campaign for him, together with her. After all the wahala, going here up and down, having problems everywhere because of the campaign that I chose, we went all over. When we came back from the campaign, that was when he sent me that 2.5 million to my account. So me running to him to go appreciate him for the money he gave me. To my greatest surprise, he said that the money he gave to me, I should go and rent the apartment and leave my husband. I left full of shock. I was kind of, So when I left, he kept on calling, chatting me. I was ignoring him. I've been giving him excuses, buying time. So the next time, he sent 1 million naira through my friend. And the same house rent issue, that she should give me and I'll complete the money I have to complete my house rent. That was happened about the money. About the money has been saying he gave me 10 million naira. He dated me before. So the money has been giving me from there till now. It's up to 20 million naira. Not even 10, it's up to 20 million naira because he's my boyfriend before. He dated me. He gave me money. Anytime I call my problem, he will help me. Even if he cannot give me 100%, he'll do like 70 to 60% to me.
As the controversy begins to die down, public opinion remains sharply divided on the potential impact of the leaked video on Adamawa's political scene. Meanwhile, the victim expresses her frustration, emphasizing that women often bear the brunt of public shaming and scrutiny in situations like this, adding another layer to the ongoing debate.
We have many women out there that this kind of thing has happened to them. They're scared to come out, to come and defend themselves because he has been threatening people. My life is in danger, my husband and my family. They've been threatening us to kill. There's a threatening of life in all the video, the chat and everything. I know a lot of women are crying in there that they cannot come out and speak their mind, but I stand as a woman to defend them. They should come out and speak the truth, what has been happening to them.
Efforts to obtain a response from Senator Abo's camp have so far been unsuccessful. Abdullahi Ahmed, Trust TV News, Abuja.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up, real estate investment declines as cost of building materials soars. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is Trust News Hour. Let's take a look at our top stories again. We brought you federal government promises fuel supply by weekend amid price hike chaos. And 3 children killed, 2 injured in Kano building collapse. Moving on to more stories, the recent flooding in Madagali, Adamawa State has reopened old wounds, bringing back painful memories of Boko Haram's 2014 attacks. Madagali, the first council to fall to Boko Haram, now sees its flood victims relieving the trauma of displacement as many find themselves in camps once again, facing their second round of forced exile. Gibson Swadigo reports.
Once displaced by insurgents, the people of Madagali now face a new crisis, devastating floods. This Marghi-speaking community in Adamawa State, which Boko Haram attacked in 2014, once served as a base for the group as they seized more areas. After the insurgency, survivors returned to rebuild their homes, while others resettled in host communities. Now, their resilience is being tested again by nature's fury.
Boko Haram is far better than this one, because Boko Haram shoots gun. You can hear the gun, you can know the direction where to follow. But this one just comes accidentally. As I've shown you, I go to all bruises when I was running to be sure that I save lives here. So that thing, Boko Haram is far better than this one. We need food. We need relief materials for these people. We need medicine, drugs. We need medicine. This is our clinic. This is our health staff. We need clinic. We need medicine for the staff.
Godia Munda, who returned to Madagali less than 6 months ago to rebuild her life, has been hit hard by the recent flood that wiped out everything she worked for. Now, she is back in the camp at Central Primary School Shua. Like others there, she faces the heartbreaking task of starting over yet again, rebuilding her home for the second time.
Rayuwar nan daban da na gida. Gara rayuwar gida fiye da nan. To, ana wahala nan.
The conditions here are very different from what we are used to at home. The people at the camp are suffering because there are few facilities to make them comfortable. Even if we were to return home, there would be no place to sleep and our animals and clothes are gone. We are just here putting our trust in God.
Sharing insights into the flood devastation, the Adamawa State government's emergency unit revealed that the camp established in response to the crisis continues to swell as more people arrive due to relentless downpour. The flood has forced an increasing number of residents to seek refuge, adding strength to the already overwhelmed camp.
Yesterday, heavy downpour affected many houses and farmland, where about 215 people were affected by this flood between Urogandi and Kopa community. And now we are planning to go to Palam. Maybe in the evening, we will go to Gulag and Madagali to go for assessment.
Godia Munda and her fellow victims, the challenge ahead is clear: rebuilding their homes once the rain ceases and the flood waters recede. The path to recovery will be long, but they remain determined to start over yet again. Gibson Adugo, Trust TV News.
The National Economic Council has reconstituted the Presidential Committee on Flood Mitigation, Adaptation, Preparedness and Response in light of devastating floods this year. Briefing newsmen at State House Abuja on Wednesday, Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad disclosed that state governors had been asked to give an inventory of destruction in their states before Monday next week. 4 states who have not made submissions on the adoption of state police are also expected to make their recommendations on Monday. Kende Amodu reports.
The floods were more devastating along the northeast axis, where a major artery between Kano and Maiduguri has been cut off. The floods have also had devastating effects across the country on households, schools, bridges, and other means of livelihood. The governors are acknowledging the efforts of the federal government in mitigating the floods, but are asking for more support. An established governance structure is being put in place to ensure that the interventions will not be ad hoc, which is why the flood committee has been reconstituted.
We need to provide more of food security, and some of the farmlands are already submerged, and there would therefore be a need for collaboration between all the tiers of government to ensure food security. The need for planning, collaboration, and interaction to do that during the harvest time, because the harvest may not be as we envisage in terms of the bumper harvest that we are expecting.
Monday will be the deadline
for all the states of the Federation to submit detail of damages, including farms, schools, bridges that have been affected by the last flood. And Mr. Chairman mentioned that it will be taken into consideration for appropriate support to the various states.
Meanwhile, before the commencement of the Council's meeting, Vice President Kashim Shettima received the chairman of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates. The philanthropist made a presentation to the Council on strategies to totally eradicate polio in the country.
NEC passed a resolution in the issue of polio eradication, which Nigeria has succeeded. It has eliminated wild polio virus, but there are remnants in a few states. 5 affected states and others have circulating variant polio viruses, and a task force committee of the NEC was established to report on a monthly basis on polio eradication.
Also in progress are discussions on the adoption of state police in light of the escalating insecurity across the country.
We are supposed to submit for consideration of the NEC. Incidentally, 4 states couldn't submit, and for that purpose, NEC decided that those states must make their submissions on or before Monday next week. Otherwise, whatever decision NEC takes on the establishment of state police will be binding on those states that refuse to submit, to make submissions.
No questions were allowed after the briefing, perhaps to forestall any inquiries about the recent increase in the pump price of petrol. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amudu, Trust TV News.
Rice farming in Ogun State is now attracting people from various classes and business backgrounds, thereby creating more opportunities. Mohammed Bello, who initiated the rice farming in large scale using mechanized farming, said the potentials in agriculture are now being utilized by youths from different professions and businesses. Trust TV's Abbas Lalibi reports.
Mohammed Bello disclosed that the rice farming, which was in Magodo, Ifo local government area of Ogun State, was initiated by some commercial motorcycle riders, then in small scales.
Akwai wasu yara mu sai na zauna da su, su ma suna noma. Nace duk masu san ara masu kuɗi su yi noma, in suka cire abin su bani su zo su rubuta.
Most of them are my boys, and I started by supporting them by giving them loans from 1 million naira to 10 million naira. They are the one who encouraged me to join them. And when I visited the area, I realized that it is the land that is suitable for all kinds of farming. Hence, I liaised with the traditional rulers and other stakeholders, where I invested in large scale and mechanized farming. And with the good result, we have many young Nigerians from different backgrounds in Lagos and Ogun who are glad to join us. Bello said Ogun State government recognized their efforts when the state governor, Dr. Abiodun, and his team flagged off the first harvest of rice. He said he has also received invitation from Osun State government to initiate similar projects in the state. According to him, they are now preparing for dry season farming, where they will deploy solar system to water the farm.
Osun State suna jira na. Su kuma za mu je mu yi program din.
He added that if government at all levels support the system, it will enhance food security and job creation in the region and the country at large. Saida Abib, a commercial motorcycle rider in Magoro, who turned to rice farmer, said he once conveyed the Mohammed Bello to the farm on his bike. I developed interest from farming from what my eyes saw, and now I'm a full-time farmer as it pays more than Okada riding. Kaneshi Daniel, a trader at Alaba International Market who also ventured into rice farming, he disclosed that he has also introduced rice farming to his female lawyer friend.
I feel great because this is my first time using mechanization farming. Yes, because in other regions we just use labor, manual labor. For this one, it makes the job easy.
Nasiru Abubakar, a graduate who has been in Bureau de Change business in Lagos for decades, have also ventured into the rice farming. Due to the challenges we are facing in foreign exchange business, rice farming is an alternative for me to survive. As farmers are preparing for dry season farming, there is hope that many youths and other professionals in Lagos and Ogun State will grab the opportunity and venture into rice farming. From Ogun State, Abbas Ibrahim Talibi, Trust TV.
Amid economic challenges, the Development Research and Project Center is pushing for greater women's participation across all sectors to combat poverty. At the 2024 Nigeria Economic Society Conference in Abuja, the RPC is hosting a session focused on implementing the National Women's Economic Empowerment Policy to drive actionable solutions. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
In 2022, an estimated 43.7 million women in Nigeria lived on less than $1.9 a day, according to Statista. To tackle this alarming poverty rate and boost women's economic participation, the Development Research and Project Center is advocating for the swift implementation of the National Women's Economic Empowerment policy.
This session was a critical and very important session. The whole conference, as it has been taking place, is looking at economic issues, and we support that. But we wanted to look at the economy and how it impacts on women and the opportunities for addressing the problems of women through policies. Many efforts are being made, but we were concerned and we were interested in discussing the issue of how the Women Economic Empowerment Policy itself, a policy, can help reduce poverty, empower women economically, and enable them to support their society and communities.
At the Nigerian Economic Society Conference, a session organized by the Development Research and Project Center sparked discussions among experts and stakeholders on advancing women's economic stability. Panelists explored opportunities, challenges, prospects for increasing women's participation in the economy.
The men can always support the women by giving them a chance to thrive, especially when the women have shown the fact that they can do well. Implementation of the WE policy will help in creating more jobs, and then it will increase the GDP of the nation if properly implemented.
In Enugu State, we've done a lot in terms of empowering women. Recently, through the NGKs, we have already started enumerating women. The target is to empower 20,000 women in Enugu State. And we are dealing with the rural women in the rural areas. That is the target of His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubi Simba.
When you give grants, or maybe you give some interventions to women and then leave them, there is no proper monitoring, these women do not thrive. Some of these interventions you make, just, you don't feel the impact. Maybe the impact is just minimal, but if the federal government can also introduce something that can be monitoring this kind of interventions so that these women will thrive, because we know that when you empower a woman, you empower her household, you empower the whole of the community. It also impacts on the nutritional and health and education values of her household.
The National Women's Economic Empowerment Policy was launched in 2023 to support financial inclusion for women, access to opportunities, skills acquisition, among others. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
As prices of commodities skyrocket in markets across the country, the newly established Islamic market in Iwo, Osun State is giving succor to residents. Food items are cheaper at the Islamic market compared to other markets in Iwo, and the traders are happy making moderate profits. However, the Islamic market is contending with certain forces as market associations and unions from markets are opposed to modus operandi. Hamid Oyegbade reports.
Since the removal of the fuel subsidy by President Bola Tinubu after his swearing in, prices of commodities have gone up in the markets. The situation is compounded with the imposition of levies by associations and unions in the markets, as well as multiple taxation by agents of local and state governments. As part of his initiatives to help his people in Iwo, his country home, the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land, Sheikh Dawood Imran Malasa, established the Islamic market in Iwo. In this market, no union or association levy and no tax. Prices of commodities are regulated in a way that the seller and the buyers are happy.
We established the market for the poor people, for our people, in order to help them, especially during this very hard time for them. So it is established by some people in the beginning, but now many people are cooperating with us, both seller and others.
The traders said the elimination of levies and taxes enabled them to make profit even as they sell at cheaper price. Meanwhile, the market associations and unions are not happy with the way the Islamic market crashed prices of commodities in the town.
The place they are selling their market, they will collect different type of tax. Market tax, land tax, government tax, all those tax. You support this market, they will remove the money. But for this market, nothing tax. You just bring your market and sell anything you want to sell in a cheap price.
Our price is okay. We sell onion at 500 naira, 1,000 naira, and 1,500 naira, depending on the capacity of the buyer. This market is going on well, and we believe it will continue to improve and grow as time goes on.
I'm happy to sell my materials in this market because we go do Syria. That is why I like this market.
The residents said the Islamic market gives them succor on the face of the current economic hardship in the country.
In here, people come here to patronize this market because of the prices and the prices of goods and commodities here are being regulated.
These people that we are seeing here are those that are fear God. That if everybody are making sales, despite that they are selling below the normal price. There is nothing here that is not below the price that they are selling in the town.
The residents and traders in Iwo appealed to the state government to give necessary support to the Islamic market to continue to thrive for the benefit of the poor masses. Amid Oyegbade reporting for Trust TV.
As the rising cost of fuel and food prices continue to negatively impact the lives of Nigerians, investment in real estate, especially home ownership, is witnessing a significant decline, while for many it has become out of reach. With essential construction materials like sand, plaster, and blocks becoming prohibitively expensive, initiation and completion of construction projects has been dealt a severe blow. Here's a report.
The escalating cost of construction materials is causing a significant decline in property investments in Nigeria, with the downturn affecting not just individual investors but also the broader economy, including employment in the construction sector. Without intervention, the situation threatens to worsen, potentially leaving many Nigerians unable to realize their property goals. Real estate expert Patrick Ogunjobi, who spoke with Trust TV on the situation, believed that the struggling economy is the primary reason behind the sharp decline in property investment. He underscores the need for caution and realistic expectations in today's market, while emphasizing that it is better to start small than to overstretch financially in an uncertain economy.
Professionals should begin to look inward now to see how we begin to provide solutions. For example, now, just this morning, tiles per square meter is about 8,000 naira per square meter. 9,000 naira, quality tiles, 9,000 naira per square meter. But I just discovered something that they just said they are bringing to bear, that they are like stone, whatever, coated, whatever.
Now,
the price is going to be.
Across the country, Nigerians are grappling with the high cost of construction, which are being exhibited by stagnant incomes. Kayode Johnson, who is facing similar struggles, highlighted the difficulties that come with trying to build in the current economic climate.
In Nigeria, to build is not an easy thing. Now collide with the situation we are facing on fuel issue and cost of food items and others. Everything right now is so expensive. When it comes to the sand, buying of after buying the land, this buying of sand, the plaster, the block to start up a building is very, very expensive. High cost of
The cement that we used to buy 2006. I remember when I got my when I started building my house, then the cement was just like 2006, 3,000 something. But now it's about 8,500 to 10,000 now, depending on the type you are buying. Do you understand? And you can't buy a substandard one, you have to buy a good one. That, not only that, sand and other things, soft sand, sharp sand and other things. Besides, iron especially, cost of iron is exorbitant so much now that you have to cut your neck to be able to afford it. And if you don't use the right materials, use substandard materials, they will use it for you to build. At the end of the day, you have a substandard building, which can even affect you in the future.
The rising economic pressures are prompting a louder call for government intervention. Industry stakeholders are urging the government to explore measures to stabilize building material prices and ease the financial burden on Nigerians, with the aim of supporting both the housing market and the overall well-being of the populace.
It's time for business news update with Yusuf Akogu. And this is the business news segment. My name is Chiamaka Enendu. Let's begin with news coming from Nigeria's petroleum sector, where the NNPCL, that is the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, says it will supply the Dangote refinery a total of 17.6 million barrels of crude oil between September and October this year. The executive vice president of the NNPC, Adedapo Shegun, who stated this on Thursday, said the federal government and the NNPC were working to ensure supply of crude oil to Dangote refinery and ensure that the ongoing petrol scarcity in the country is addressed. He further explained that multiple issues are contributing to the fuel scarcity situation, noting that while the fuel queues may come and go, a permanent solution requires ideal market conditions and sufficient foreign exchange liquidity. And now to news coming from the telecommunications sector, where the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has denied report that its servers have been suffering downtimes as Nigerians besiege telecoms operator shops for the verification of their national identification number. The Commission stated this in a statement released on Thursday by its head of corporate communications, Kayode Adegoke. Adegoke added that over 10,000 enrollment centers across the country and its diaspora are actively serving Nigerians. The rush for NIN verification is on the back of the September 15 final deadline for the linking of all SIMs to NIN, as recently announced by the Nigerian Communications Commission. Let's move now to see how the Nigeria Exchange ended today's trading, where we did see the best dominate the market, with the all-share index down by 0.49% at 96,037.28. We did see the market capitalization end at 55.3 trillion naira, with the volume of trade at 388.616 billion, and the value of trade hitting 9.5 billion naira, while 9,897 deals exchanged hands on the floor of the exchange on Thursday. And now to the major gainers, where we did see Berger top the gainers chart and up by 10%, followed by Maya up as well by 10%, and MC Nichols ended the day up by 10% as well. And now to the bottom losers from Thursday, where we did see RT Briscoe top the losers chart and down by 10%, going for 2.34 naira per share price. And FTN Cocoa ended the day down by 9.80%, while Owando
euro ended down by 9.65%. And now to the top trades and market movers chart, where we did see Zenith Bank top the top trades chart at 56.6 million shares, followed by Owando at 43 million shares and Guaranteed Trust Holdings at 28.5 million shares. And right about now, let's see how the global market fared during Thursday's trading session. And now to the commodities market, where oil firmed on Thursday, edging up from the multi-month lows due to the possible delay of the output increases by OPEC Plus producers and the decline in the U.S. inventories. You will recall that we have heard from the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, that is OPEC, and allies led by Russia, which will be meeting in the month of October. Well, that's it for the business news today. Stay tuned for the continuation of the news today.
Apologies for that, and thank you, Chiamaka Nendu, for that update. Away from Nigeria, Burkina Faso has introduced a new biometric passport without the logo of the Economic Community of West African States, the ECOWAS, further solidifying its break from the regional bloc. The move comes after Burkina Faso, along with Niger and Mali, sever ties with ECOWAS following military coup in the three countries. The decision to issue passports without the ECOWAS insignia was announced by Burkina Faso Security Minister Mohamedou Sana on Tuesday. And now let's join Adeni Ajishafe for Sports News Update.
Action on day 8 at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games proved challenging for Team Nigeria as athletes in para-athletics and para-powerlifting mixed out on podium finishes. In the women's 400 T54, Hannah Babalola faced tough competition, finishing near the back of the pack in Heat 2. Belgium's Bayekula led the race, clocking 52.25 seconds, while Babalola fell short of qualifying for the final. In para-powerlifting, Bosse Bigide, competing in the women's 50 kg category, finished 7th after lifting 100 kg. The event was dominated by Venezuela's Clara Fuentes, who claimed gold with an impressive 124 kg lift. Nigerian shot put hopeful Goodness Nwachukwu also put in a solid effort in the women's shot put F64 final, throwing a distance of 11.49 meters and securing 4th place but missing out on the bronze. China's Jie Yao claimed gold with a throw of 12.53 meters, followed by USA's Middleton 12.19 meters and China's Jie Yang 11.77 meters, who took silver and bronze respectively. Team Nigeria will be hoping for better chance to add to their medal tally in Paris after winning silver and bronze in para-badminton and para-powerlifting. And in football, Super Eagles interim coach Augustine Guavon says the Super Eagles are ready to go for 6 points in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches against Benin Republic and Rwanda. The reigning African vice champions will clash with the Cheetahs of Benin Republic and then keep a day with Rwanda's Amavubi in Kigali 3 days later. Guavon has a number of stalwarts who are determined to appease fans and enthusiasts for missing the 2 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches in June, from which poor results threaten Eagles' chance of reaching the 2026 finals. Guavon said the players' objective is clear: to pick the 6 points in both matches. Guavon is most likely to start goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, with Aina, Shemi Ajayi, Ekong and Basi at the rear, and any 3 of Frank Oyega, Fisao Dele Bashiru, Alex Iwobi, Wilfred Indidi, Al-Hassan Yusuf and Rafael Oyedika in midfield. Osimhen, Kelechi Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze, Simon Taiwo Awoniyi, Victor Boniface and Ademola Lookman are gunning for shirt at the front. Saturday's match will kick off at 5 p.m. at Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
And with that, we wrap up News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for joining us.